What's going on, YouTube? We are back for another video today. Today's going to be a really good one. We're going to be ranking the top 5 exercises for quad growth. Well, really not the top 5. We're just going to be taking 5 exercises, breaking down exactly why I like or don't like them, where I would place them in a training plan, do I prioritize them. So let's get right into it so you guys can start seeing some growth in your legs. And if you're not training legs or you know someone not training legs, make sure you tell them to start training their legs and train with intensity. No more of this like half reps and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you're doing real reps with your stuff. So let's get into it. So we're going to start with number 5. Now I picked 5 exercises. This I would rank at the bottom of this tier list. The barbell squat. Why is that number 5? People have done it for years, John. Everyone has done barbell squats. I see everyone at the gym doing back squats. Why is this not great for my quads? Well, I'm going to tell you. Most people are not efficient movers with a barbell squat. Most people are not built properly to barbell squat and emphasize their quads. Most people just stick their butt out and go halfway down and never actually use their quads, and it winds up becoming a glute and lower back exercise. Most people are limited by their core giving out before their legs. So, barbell squat for me is not a great option when it comes to really focusing on quad growth. I would much rather see you guys do some other kind of squat. So let's move up the list. Number 4, split squats. Now I actually do like these, but they have to be done a certain way. Doing a split squat where it turns into a balance exercise and you're just focusing on not getting tipped over, like you're outside on a windy day and you're too skinny and the wind just blows you away. Like, we don't want to see that. I don't want to see you waving back and forth. And it's like, again, like, what's your limiting factor? It's not your quads. So the way I do like a split squat is some sort of supported or using a machine. I personally use a machine. It depends what you have access to. Doing them supported, I do really like them because I do believe training unilaterally, so on one leg, just to make sure we don't have any imbalances, because we're not built perfectly symmetrical. So that'll keep your quads shape and size the same from side to side. So I do like using them. I just really prefer them supported if your goal is purely to gain muscle. Now, if you're training because you just want to function well and feel good, great, do regular split squats, because that's going to help you more in your everyday life. But if you're just trying to build the biggest quads possible, I do like these exercises supported versus not supported. Moving to number 3, we're going to go with leg press. Now, this was a tough one. I personally love the leg press. I just think it's used in a way where everyone has an ego and thinks that they can do 1,000 pounds on a leg press. If you cannot squat the weight on a squat machine, you're probably going way too heavy on your leg press. So I see people all the time load up 8-9 plates on a leg press, and then I watch them do a hack squat and it's like they got a plate on and they're dying. Like, why is that? Because you're not moving the weight. We want to focus on knee flexion, so having your feet towards the bottom of the platform when you're leg pressing, letting your knees travel forward, keeping your lower back glued to the pad. Don't let your butt come up. That is when we're going to see max knee flexion from the knees and actually be able to utilize our quads to push the weight. So I do like doing these a little bit more controlled on the way down, especially, and not just being too explosive out of the bottom. Like, feeling my quad turn on, and once I get my quad turned on, then bang, all the way up. So reason to do that as well is when you start to get a lot stronger, this actually saves your tendons and joints so much, because they're not just being like a spring. It's control, turn on, bang. Now we're out of that position of like that max knee flexion where you can put some wear and tear on your joints if you're just trying to be explosive, bouncing out of the bottom. Focus on control. Bottom line. Number 2, I would say a squat variation, hack squat or pendulum. If you don't have access to either of those, you should still have a squat in your program. So I do like a goblet squat for this. The only problem with that is when you get over too much weight that like your legs aren't the limiting factor again. But you can just tempo it, things like that, just to make the movement harder. Like, especially when it comes to physique and bodybuilding and muscle growth, it's how can we make these movements harder, not how can we make them easier. That's powerlifting. Powerlifters just want to move the weight from point A to point B as efficiently as possible. For someone looking to improve your physique, you actually want to lean into pain, well, not pain in like joints and things like that, but lean into muscular pain, because your body is going to do everything to take you out of the path of most resistance. So your body doesn't want to be in pain, obviously. So your movement is going to change when you're in pain. So you want to really lean into it, dial your form in, push through the muscle that you're supposed to be working. But yeah, that leads me to my top exercise for quad growth. I'd say leg extensions. It is the only leg exercise that allows you to train your quads fully contracted at the top. I know a lot of people these days are so focused on the stretch of the muscle, and yeah, that's important. I do think that there's merit to the partial reps, the lengthened reps, all of that kind of stuff. But I don't think you should ever totally get away from fully contracting a muscle. And the only time you can do that for your quads is in a leg extension. Squeeze that. Make sure that it's turned all the way on. So like whenever I do a leg extension, I'll give it a 1 second squeeze all the way at the top. This way, my quads are getting fully worked, because now say my session is leg extension, leg press, hack squat, just for example. We're getting some lengthened bias movement in our squats and in our leg press. And then now we're getting a shortened bias movement in our leg extension. Now, the order is really going to depend on your experience level. I do like leg extensions first if you need to limit loading on your squats or leg press. If you're just starting out in the gym, I would say keep leg extensions last. But it really depends on your programming, where you're at in your training history, and a lot of other things. But so running through the list one more time. At the bottom, we got barbell squats. Then we got split squats. Then leg press. Then pendulum or hack squat. Top tier, leg extension. That is an S tier exercise for me. So if you guys agree, comment below. You disagree, comment below. Thank you guys for watching. Really just trying to get my YouTube started, and I'm trying to gain some following. So if you did learn something, share this with a friend. If you know someone who doesn't train legs, send this to them. That would be pretty cool. But subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you guys in the next one.